We are now live on YouTube, starting us up on Rumble, getting the background music going. Hello, good afternoon. We are.
TOC Show.
Yep. This is a talk show, the Omni Coalition show. It's a talk show called TOC Show, and my damn camera is doing that stupid autofocusing thing again. Oh well, what are you going to do about it? This music is really loud, so let me lower that even more to just barely. Come on. Come on, let me... Okay, I guess that's as low as it's going to go. It's still getting up a little bit loud, so I'm just going to download this really quick while I'm talking here. But anyway...
Go ahead and take your time.
Yeah. Like, this is the sloppiest, intro to a
introduction
show.
that we've done in a long time, and
yeah.
Somebody's done some sloppy introductions recently, like... I can relate with that shit.
Yeah, well, usually I have everything scripted, and then I was suggested to delete my scripts, so I did. And I don't do that well, like, without some form of scaffold. Like, I don't need to script every little thing, but if I have...
Yeah, I definitely don't
Yeah.
do scripts myself, so that's not...
Yeah.
That's not anything that's going to be a problem for me, but that might hurt everybody else. I did not advocate for you to delete your scripts. Just for the record, for the audience, that was not me.
I was not.
Like
I'm
new to the crew, but
suggesting it was you. Like
I ad lib plenty.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I do have this one topic of discussion I would like to talk about, though. Are humans the only creature that flips images twice? So, like, when you see images, they turn upside down when they hit the retina. So your brain sees everything in the world upside down, and then it automatically reflips it back to right side up. So, like, it flips twice. And that's why.
It flips it upside down and backwards.
Yeah, backwards. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't think we are the only mammal that retinally... I know... Most species of dolphin have the same type of eye that we do. Like, if you look at a bottlenose dolphin's eye and you look at a human eye, like, the way the lenses and the retinas actually, like, cross-sect, you know? There's actually the same focal pattern in the same... So, we see things the same. And our brains automatically, like, adjust images. But is the image actually adjusted? Or is it our eyes playing tricks on us and our eyes are making the images incorrect? But something we can process.
Yeah, what I'm thinking of is, like, would it be just generalized... Okay, hold on. This camera, this webcam is driving me insane. Let's see if I can configure the video here. Camera control, autofocus. Hold on, let's see if this works. Oh my goodness, wait. Okay, let's see here. Did that work?
You do realize you have 1 billion apps open, right?
Not 1 billion, but no, like...
I can see them at the bottom of the screen, though, like... You have so much shit open. It's like, how do you do a stream with that much nonsense going on in your feed? Like, I couldn't do it. I would lag out.
Organized chaos. Like, I'm just, like, you know, I'm an old school WoW raider. Like, I was in charge of a lot of things. So, when you learn how to, like, micromanage and do...
You must have, like, 80 gigs of RAM to be doing all of that at once.
I don't know. Like, I don't think I have that much. Like, I think I just have 8. Like, I think I have. Well, maybe I have 16. Maybe I have two 8-gig sticks. I'm not sure. I don't know what I got.
That's 16.
Yeah, well, I know how math works, but I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
Like, rudimentally, at least. Like, but no, like.
But no, I mean. I have 8 gigs of RAM and I couldn't run all that shit. And I'm running DDR4, but if you have like 64 gigs with DDR5, you might be able to run all that shit. And keep it going, like, The stream is going like well,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, well, like I'm also streaming to 2 different places, YouTube and Rumble, at the same time.
Yeah,
So,
that's
but
a
yeah.
lot.
But yeah, no. Anyway, getting back to like the original topic at hand, like we were talking about how when light enters our eyes, we're rebounding from objects, and that's what allows vision. Our perception of like wavelengths, and whatnot. And because of the shape of the retina, it flips it upside down.
Yes, it does.
And our brain reflips it back. And I was wondering, like, are humans the only creature that does that? But at the same time, I'm just like, well, no, because wouldn't every eye more or less be constructed the same way? Like, not necessarily the same exact for receptors and anything, but like the retina of every eye, would reverse everything, and the brain would unreverse it. Like,
why does the brain have to flip it back? I mean,
well, because
whatever is flipped in what direction is reality.
No, because if you see something and it flips it once, then
that's reality.
No, because reality is the physical world, and if you're walking and you see a rock sticking out of the ground from the top down, because you're perceiving everything upside down, then you think you'll walk under it, but in reality you're walking into it. You have to flip it back normal.
No, I mean,
It's a double stack though, because it doesn't just flip it back right side up. It also flips it back.
I understand what you're saying.
The inversion.
I'm just saying why. I mean, if it doesn't flip it back, then what you're seeing is reality, and you're still going to what you perceive as walking under it.
No. Okay, what I'm saying is, what you perceive and what's physically there are 2 different things if you're perceiving it in a different way than it actually physically is. Okay? Did that make any sense? Like,
yeah,
because if my brain doesn't automatically flip it back to normal, then if I reach for my vape here, with my vision, my vape is going to be upside down up here. So I reach down here, so I have to reach up there because that's where I'm perceiving it, but it's not physically up there in that space. It's down here. So now I got to reverse everything. That requires a lot more brain power than just flipping the image back normally.
Oh yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like if you're walking, and you see a stone coming up, and because your perception is upside down, the stone's going to be up here, but physically it's down here. So you're going to walk into it, and like it's physically there, but to your observation, it's up there.
My point being, maybe it's up there all along. Maybe, what's reality is what I'm saying.
This is why I'm pushing back against you right now, Kings, because
Kings isn't here.
everyone's brain actually does like properly double revert the images, and if your brain doesn't, that's when things tend to get inverted and tend to get really bad as far as you process them, because your brain is not doing it correctly the way it should. So all humans,
I think all
see
creatures.
things.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with anybody's saying for sure. I get it completely.
I'm just befuddled at what you're saying. It's just like the visual and physical are 2 separate things.
No,
I mean, he's talking about the actual reality of things.
I'm talking about your perception of it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't flip, then your perception would be still correct. It'd still be physical.
Yeah, but now you have to maneuver your whole world in an upside down mindset.
No, you don't, because you're perceiving it as correct. So therefore, when you're reaching up, you're really reaching down. But as far as you're concerned, you're reaching down and picking it up. Anyway,
so for all I know, I can be reaching down physically, but I'm actually reaching up. But what reaching up feels to me like is reaching down.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying.
That's some twisted stuff right there. Like,
hey, I'm not arguing the fact that it flips and flips. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but now you're.
Why? It's all perception.
But there's perception, and then there's physical.
It's an evolutionary process of like the ability to master your surroundings. Like, if that doesn't work correctly, the way we have developed, work it out, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
Because it's wrong. It is just wrong if it doesn't work right. And the way the world looks versus the way our lenses process it. It's like looking through a periscope, right? Like,
Yeah.
say you're looking through a periscope, you're below the water,
Yeah,
it shows
you're
you a
looking from a
mirror
different vantage
that
point
goes
than where you're
up, and
physically
it shows
at.
you another mirror that goes out,
Yeah.
and you're looking at, like, out across versus through two mirrors, which send you an image basically double inverted the way our eyes work. But if you were just to like try to look up straight through a periscope, you could never do it. But your brain has to actually process like this is going this way and that way,
Yeah.
and then you can see out. Like there's no way in hell if that didn't process in your brain that you could survive it, because you would like end up walking off a cliff because you think the cliff is above you, it's actually below you, and you just step right off the edge. Like that would be awful.
Absolutely, yeah, that would hurt.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of missing my point, I guess.
I'm getting your point, but
agrees.
it doesn't work.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is perception is more valid than reality.
No,
perception is reality.
Perception is
There
what you
you go.
perceive in
Thank
reality.
you. Yes, I agree.
But how can
Yes.
how can if perception is of something be more valuable than what it's of? That makes no sense.
It can't be. It can't be. And
It's
and you're
going
both
down
right
a
in
tier.
this
I'm
scenario.
saying for your survival. If you perceive it to be a way and you function within that perception, then reality is going to screw you up because you don't perceive it that
I
way.
think I've been getting you contact high too long, my dad. Like
Hey, I'm just throwing something out there. Move on.
it's hurting my brain.
Good that I've done my job.
You don't need to talk to do that.
Okay, go
Welcome
ahead.
everybody to the Omni Coalition show.
Oh yeah, nothing like it.
I'm new here.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I'm happy-
I think
I'm
the
happy
whole
to be
show's
amongst
kind of
these
upside
guys.
down. I'm not sure.
upside down and inside out. Yeah.
I'm
yeah-
glad I came along. No comment.
I am.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, of course.
That's a joke. No answer required.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. If you want me out of here, great.
No, I
Doesn't
don't. I
matter.
don't want you out of here.
I know.
Absolutely
I ain't
not.
moving.
But yeah, like no, we have like I think it's gonna require like a lot of like research or so, but like I'm not sure if every structure of the eye is the same. Like do fishes when images go through their like retinas, does that flip upside down?
Well,
like, what
I'm
deer?
just gonna go ahead and tangent way off. But if you look at arachnids, they have 4 sets of eyes.
Yeah.
But their 4 sets have like 4 retinal patterns, so that gives them like basically 8 eyes, right? Like or 16 eyes, whatever. Like
Well, look at a
it's
fly's eyes.
It's multiplicative.
Yeah.
There you go. Can you imagine what
Because their eyes
Can you imagine
work
what their perception of reality is?
single flip. Their eyes work single flip, so they need
I mean, look
twice
at
as many eyes as we have to process the same imagery we see with our advanced retinal patterns. Like,
We assume they see like
I know when light comes through your lens of your eye and projects onto your retina, it's like the same way a projector works in a theater. You have to like have a flip for it because it's going to show up upside down, and so you have to flip it over. But ours have a 3D retinal pattern that flip it upside down and backwards. But our brain processes it out as like, okay, it's upside down and backwards. Boom, boom. Double tap, flip it over easily. There are people whose eyes don't actually work like that, and they suffer from a lot of actual macular issues in that regard. I don't know the names of those conditions because I don't have them. But there are people who don't do the upside down to right side up flip. And then there are people who don't do the backwards flip. And that's really problematic with people's vision.
Well, there is, and I can't think of the name of it, but it's somewhat common, where people read letters backwards and they have a heck of a
Dyslexia.
time. There, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well,
Yeah,
there's,
dyslexia.
there you go.
Wasn't Mark
That's
Twain or some famous writer or something like they wrote in a way where the only way you can read it is through a mirror because it was upside down and backwards or
I don't
just
know, but
backwards?
yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name of the condition again, Darth?
Dyslexia.
Yeah.
Dyslexia.
Dyslexia.
No, dyslexia.
Dyslexia.
No, dyslexia is when you're reading and the words.
When you're reading and the words come up
Words and letters.
out of order and sometimes
Oh, I
upside
thought
down.
you were talking about like the ability to read like actual writing that was written in reverse.
Well,
No, that's a
kind of
totally
the same,
different
but yeah,
thing.
but-
That's just normal brain function. Like, you see those posts on the internet, on social media all the time, like, only somebody with, like, a properly functioning brain, which is what they really want to say, but they say, like, a 1% brain can read this, and then they, like, type the shit out of order, and you having a properly functioning brain, your brain automatically, like, rearranges things in an order that makes sense. So you can literally read, they're like, it's upside down, it's backwards, it's out of order, and your brain still puts it all together correctly. Like, that's just normal.
Yeah.
That's not any sort of special ability. That's just the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah. Well, you guys were talking
But
about
people do-
dyslexia, and I misunderstood what you're talking about as, pardon me, this image I have up on my share screen.
But if you have, like, a legitimate, like, disorder reading because words get out of order, that's dyslexia.
Yes.
That's what Kings was talking about.
No, Kings isn't here. This is the loon is with us right here. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
bad.
no worries.
No problem.
I've been looking at the stream. I haven't been looking at the Discord.
I just
so
walked in. I'm not even on.
that's
this
my
thing,
fault.
Yeah. No, it's all right. But no,
No
this
biggie.
is.
That's still King's name, though. So
Well, Kings is
Can't
Kings is
hold
logged on to
me.
here. He's right now,
Yeah.
as I said earlier. Kings went out to the market to get some dinner. Right now, I have
Okay, that's
physically
fine.
with me. I have the golden loon.
More
Right here.
mostly
Oh, the
known
loon.
as
That's
Crazy
you
Loon
coming
in this
through.
conversation.
Yes, yes. So there's two.
all right.
there's-
Well, I talked
yes.
to Loon yesterday, right?
Yes,
Yes,
you did.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But-
My bad. I'm still
No,
getting
don't worry. I walked in and sat
acclimated
down.
here.
Yeah.
Don't
But King,
flog
King
me
will
too
be
hard.
back. No, dude, don't
No.
worry about
I
it.
fuck up.
Dude, chill.
No, you
I
didn't.
do.
Because I sat
It's
down.
good.
and
No,
just
we're
said-
good. We're good.
I just started talking. You didn't
Stop
know who it was.
apologizing. I don't need two Canadians. All right.
I'm not apologizing. I'm just saying I'm still getting used to the format here.
That's all right. No, there really is no format. It's just kind of a, everything's a work in progress. And I think King actually just came back. I heard a noise and I saw his thing light up. Unless that's his dog eating his microphone or something. So,
I mean, the microphone had it coming. I'm just
Man.
gonna say it.
that poor microphone.
Fuck that microphone.
Oh, there he is.
Yep,
What else you
that's definitely a back.
Well, this is what I wanted to talk about mirror writing actually, and if
Oh,
you see
okay.
here,
Yeah.
right, like this is the ability to read and write in this way that normal people would have to utilize a mirror, because if you have like a mirror, like your paper here, and you have a mirror, and then you write like by looking on the mirror, and then figure out how to write that way, so that way you can read it in a
You
mirror.
write it backwards and then you hold it up in a mirror and it shows up the way your brain naturally processes things.
Essentially, yeah. So it's like a reversed image that unreverses because of your brain's natural
Yeah,
function.
inverted images are my favorite.
Yeah. But like, I was trying to remember which famous author
What's that called? Do you know?
mirror writing.
Mirroring?
Mirror
Hey.
writing.
Mirror writing.
Mirror writing. Leonardo da Vinci. Yeah, that's right. So.
Yeah, Da Vinci. Which is funny because Da Vinci was the one who set the ground level for the telescope, right? Because he had an inverted vision issue.
No.
I don't think. Maybe hold on. Maybe he did. Who invented?
Yeah, Da Vinci. did not invent the telescope, but revolutionized the telescope.
Yeah. Well, it says here.
Because he had a concept of how double lenses worked against each other.
It says here several men have laid claim to inventing the telescope, but the credit usually goes to Hans Lippershey, a Dutch lens maker in
Hans
1608. And then Galileo.
Right, and I'm not saying he invented it.
Yeah,
Galileo had more to do with inventing it, but Da Vinci actually innovated it to make it able to see out beyond anything they had at the time.
Well, that makes sense because
Yeah.
Da Vinci did a lot of, besides being a great artist and all that, he did a lot of mechanical drawings.
Yeah.
So what you're saying makes perfect sense.
Well, what's really interesting about Da Vinci is, like, a lot of people know about his tank. Do you know about his tank? Okay.
I don't believe so.
So here, let me bring this up. Da Vinci tank. So he actually designed a tank. Somebody actually built it in the real world. Here's that. But this is his design here. And as you can see, it has, like, it's basically completely surrounded with guns.
Oh.
Like it's like it's a movable, like, embattlement. And here's a cross section of the insides.
So that'd be a flying?
No,
That's a mobile
ground,
battle station.
It's a ground tank. No, it's not flying.
Okay.
It's a mobile battle station.
It's a tank.
At the time,
Oh, a tank. Okay.
Yes.
an
Am I
armored,
mumbling or something?
a mobile armored vehicle.
Yeah, but here's a cross section of it. Now, here's something interesting. Okay, from the design, because it's well before engines and all that
Right.
stuff. So you have to hand crank it. From the design, you know what it did? It just spun in
Your
circles.
foot cranks that, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, from the design, it just spun in
That's
circles.
because it. Yeah.
No, he intentionally.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say he intentionally designed it to be immobile, and people, like, especially back then, were probably not smart enough to figure out how to mess with it in order for actually go forward or back or whatever. So he sabotaged
You know how
his
they
whole design
actually
to
moved
prevent
it?
to being used to kill other people.
I got you.
Genius.
I can already tell you how they moved that. They had posts that they got out of the son of a bitch and put the posts in it and carried it to where they wanted to go, and then they had it on a rotator that made it basically like, we're gonna set this down, jump inside, and we're gonna shoot at you, and we're gonna spin so we can all keep firing at wherever the target is at, and
They
we
don't
can
need
be
to spin.
reloading while we're rotating, and then the next person can shoot, and then it can keep rotating while everyone else is
But they don't need to spin because they're completely
3 or
surrounded.
4 targets with an armored fucking cover.
Is that picture to
Like
scale?
that.
Yes.
It's huge then.
That's
No, but they don't need to rotate.
big advantage to people who are not like armored over and protected.
You are not kidding.
There are no anti-aircraft guns on this, like, or
There was no aircraft back then.
armored vehicle guns on like, this. This thing is like powered by human power and small arms.
Yeah.
It's a armored fighting vehicle.
Yes, it was, but, like, as I said, the way he designed it, it only spins. It's, that's completely useless
Yeah.
for the.
They picked it up and carried it to the next location. That's how they moved it.
This was never.
They literally got out.
Yeah.
You see those
So-
posts all around
So,
the
time
outside?
out. Are you saying that
People
they
picked
actually,
it up and carried it.
Time out. Are you saying that they actually built this and they used this in war? I really don't think.
No,
that.
they never used this in war.
But
The concept of it, like, most of those things poking out the sides are guns.
all of
Some
them
of those
guns.
are actually like levers that you can pick the son of a bitch up and carry it with.
I think those are all guns, my friend. Like, it's designed to be completely surrounded
In
by
this
guns.
picture, yeah. But if you go back to the actual design, that there are actual, like, they're gonna move this shit with, like, but like they didn't have engines
No.
back then, so they're not gonna move it on a combustion engine. There's no fucking way. They had it on a rotator, a rotating double axle that allowed it to spin, but they literally had to do that from inside.
But why would it
Like,
spin if
there's
you have
no
guns all the way
engine
around?
moving it.
Okay, now I'm no Da Vinci, specific historian, but I think that you have this
Right.
a little bit wrong, dude. Because like, Da Vinci designed this with the illusion of it being mobile, like not to be mobile the way that you're saying it. It's not designed to be picked up. First off, dude, can you imagine how heavy this would be? You would need, there's no way to lift this. There's no way to just pick it up. You're talking about like multiple tons of wood, and like how many tons are each of these guns by themselves? There's literally no way to lift this up with manpower, horsepower alone. It's completely ridiculous. The Da Vinci
I think
designed
you
this.
way underestimate the human ability.
Okay.
For one.
The way Da Vinci designed this was like with the illusion of it being self-propelled under manpower. You can see the cranks here. So it is, yes, designed, but it was not designed to be a spinning, rotating turret. It was designed to move, but he designed it intentionally to spin in place, so that way it would not be used in warfare. He intentionally sabotaged his own creation, is what I was saying. I don't think that the spinning thing and all that stuff was an actual intentional design, because that is ridiculous. Like, I can't imagine like anybody thinking something like this massive being designed to spin, and the only way to move it somewhere else is to magically lift up like 10-20 tons of wood and metal. Like, I don't think that's possible, man.
I can't imagine something that size being 10 or 20 tons, like 8 to 15 at most. And if you have it on rotating wheels, you already have something that can help assist you in moving it if you get out and push.
But how can you move it if
I'm not gonna say that's it. Never made it into battle, so it's irrelevant because it was never actually tried.
It was all concept.
But as a concept idea, like, I've seen 3 men flip over a 2-ton car. 3 men flipped it upside down. A 2-ton car, like 4,000 pounds.
Okay,
That's kind of insane.
this is a lot bigger than the car.
Yeah, but I mean, if you get 8 to 10 guys, you could probably move it, like, maybe not far. You might need to
Maybe.
work on moving it a lot. You might need to add some horses if you're going to move it any significant length of distance, but for a defensive unit, like, you don't really want to come across that if you're trying to, like, invade a place. And if we got to move it over here because you moved the front, like, we're not going to take this into battle on a conquest campaign, but you're also not going to come into our house. We'll move this sumbitch all over the place.
But wouldn't like a line in a trench or something, or like a row of cannons be a lot more effective than just one of these turrets? Like the amount of resources to build and maintain one of these.
Well,
would
that's
be
probably
so,
why it never. That's probably why it never came into actual fruition. Is because there are so many things that are way more efficient.
Yeah.
But it is clever
Yeah.
in its design.
He drew a lot of mechanical stuff that never came into existence until years and years later. Then they
I mean, he
brought some of this stuff
baselined the helicopter.
Oh, there you
If
go.
you look at Da Vinci's flying machine,
Yeah.
he did not ever make a flyable helicopter, but like several centuries later, the helicopter did come into existence, and it was
Yeah.
largely based off of Da Vinci's flying machine.
Well, they've proved a lot of these things, like the helicopter, flying machine,
Yep.
whatever. Then they actually
They
had
have
the
made
possibility of flying
Yeah.
or working, whatever it was.
They
Yeah.
actually
His
have.
concepts were correct.
They actually have physically made these, as Aluna's saying. Like, and this
Right.
it's
Not
now
in his day, but later.
now it can't fly over the Atlantic, but it does, like get a little bit of air or something. It
But
is.
it gives you the base to move on. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that image, and then look at AH-64 Apache gunship and you'll see the similarities.
I know exactly
like,
what you're talking about. The corkscrew, the lift. I know how aircraft mechanics work.
Aerial lift, yes, exactly. Yes. And he had that figured out. They just didn't have the power at the time because they didn't have combustion engines, jet engines, things like that.
No, like
power such things. Like now, you look at the rotor on a modern helicopter. It's driven by a combustion fuel engine.
Soon to be all electric.
Flying machine. Yeah. Well, like, I'm pretty certain that somebody actually built a flying machine, and it actually works a little bit, but I'm not finding anything.
Anyways, he was beyond brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, there is another topic. KR, are you here? Oh, his mic is muted, so he did come back, so he is here somewhere.
Probably eating.
Yeah. Oh, he was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm munching down.
Oh, there you are. Well, I want to get into this other topic of discussion. We were watching a video earlier, KR and I, and they were talking about how some governmental body, I'm not sure if it's if it's Congress or the Supreme Court or whatever, but like some organization in our government is talking about the possibility of adding females to the draft board. So
it's Congress.
I mean,
right now.
Why aren't they there already?
Well,
what's the point of it? What difference does it make?
Because they're constantly squawking about equality and all that stuff, and they have equality, but they have cherry-picked equality. Well, they want true equality. Well, now
no, they don't have equality. They have unearned privileges. Let's just put that right there.
Yeah. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, now, they're going to be eligible to be drafted. Just as, as young men,
They're not. They're not.
Well, no.
Nobody's ever going to approve drafting women. Never. And I'll tell you why. Have you ever tried to fight a woman? All you need is one soft, open hand slap, and she's done.
Okay.
That's it. If you soft open hand slap me, I beat the fuck out of you.
Let's not talk
Guaranteed.
about... How about this? Let's not talk about attacking other people. Openly like that. That's...
No, I'm talking about being attacked.
Okay, well, that's cool. That's not the subject we're talking about.
Women have never been able to fight men. That's insane.
Okay, I strongly disagree with that. Can we, go back to the main topic here, please?
Okay,
I want to talk about...
the concept of a woman on the draft.
You're talking about drafting women into the army. That's...
Yeah.
Is that what they're saying?
That's what they're talking about.
So it's not a woman.
That's what they're talking about.
They're talking about drafting women.
They're talking about allowing women to be eligible to be drafted, just as men always have.
What universe is that a thing?
Okay. Anyway, if you can please let me finish my entire thought, that would be wonderful. So, they're talking about making
did I get dropped from the stream?
No, you're still here.
Here.
Okay, can you hear us? Hello? Okay.
There you are.
There he is.
Yeah, can you hear us?
I can.
Okay, good.
I thought I lagged out.
Okay, no.
Or got kicked.
No, I wouldn't kick you.
No.
No, I'm good.
Okay, anyway. So they're talking about making women eligible to be drafted. All right. So then they're going to be drafted and everything. And as a video that King's Refuge here and I were watching, the host of that video, which actually, if you can find that for me, so I can add that to the description section, that'd be awesome, King. But they're talking about draft them, and then they're going to be complaining about fighting and dying on the field. Then they're gonna want to be sent back, in
charge.
No. They're gonna want to be behind the lines, working in the kitchen and stuff. These are not my words. These are from the video that King's Refuge and I were watching, and I found it personally hilarious. Now they're equal, and then they're gonna try to be unequal again. I guess the funny is falling flat.
Well, let me just say this in tongue in cheek. everybody wants equality till the ship's sinking, and then it's women and children first.
Yep.
You know, so
Yeah.
this is tongue in
Absolutely.
cheek. Okay,
Yep.
so there you go. But having said that, what they should do is look at the Israeli model. Everybody's drafted at a certain age, men and women. How does that work?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
And I have Tim Pool. Okay. So yeah, I have the link right here. State proposes drafting women in NDAA 2025. Democrat and liberal women want to be drafted, says Poll. From Tim Pool here. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna add this into the underbar section here. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of this equals thing so that way we can watch or the people can watch their entire thing here. Should we draft women? Question mark. All right, there we go. But yeah, like I'm not a fan of playing other people's work on our own stuff, so I'm not gonna play this video. But King, like what do you have to say about this? Like I'm all for drafting women. I'm all for equality.
My idea was that if they do get in, the VA is going to become much better because
they're gonna have to. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we found out through generations after generations that they just plain old don't give a shit about men. But
Yeah.
we all know if a woman stands up and starts saying something, they get paid attention to. So this might be a good thing for the VA.
Yeah, I didn't think that's a good idea. What do you have to say about it?
Well, Mr. Mark, what you got to say?
Yeah.
To give my honest to God opinion, like,
Yeah.
put 5 women in a fight with a man, like, take
Why are we
weapons
back
away.
to this? Like,
That's
No,
not
I'm
the
going back to
point.
That's
this
not
for a
what we're
reason.
talking about.
I'm going back to this for a reason.
Can
This is
we
why this
please
is not going
talk
to
about,
happen.
like, why are you so infatuated with fighting women? Why do you want to keep bringing that? Why can't we talk about the subject at
You're
hand?
literally talking about drafting them to go fight other men.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen, dude, because they can't. Head,
Okay.
ass, done, end of discussion.
Okay.
Men and women are for sure physically.
And yeah, I do
Yes.
agree with King's sentiment that, like, it might improve the VA, but why is the VA even a thing that we need? If our soldiers were properly taken care of, they'd be able to get the best private medical attention
Oh, absolutely.
that existed, but they get shitted on because they're agents of the government, and the
That's
government's
true.
a piece of shit. Let's not fucking get that twisted.
Yeah.
Government is trash. So why would they do better for people who enforce their power than they do for anyone else? Like, that's not
That's true.
reasonable
Like
in the
everything,
universe
literally
that I see.
everything that the government touches turns to shit.
Yeah, it turns
Oh,
to
yeah.
shit. Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
turn to gold. Fighting men and women
no,
of
it
this
doesn't.
country who have joined voluntarily. Like, the last time we had a draft was 54. Korea, I think.
No, we had
Where you
drafts in
going?
Vietnam.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I was part of that.
Oh,
Are
so
you
the
kidding?
Yeah,
that's-
the loon here almost got drafted, but he got excused for medical reasons.
Unphysically fit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, we had to draft
My
in like
bad.
the
I was
60s
born.
and 70s.
I was born in '84. I never saw a draft in my lifetime.
No.
Well, yeah, because it was abolished.
I'm 40 years old.
Yeah, it was
I
abolished
never saw a
during Vietnam.
draft. Yeah,
Yeah.
but most of the people who are like tuned into this show probably haven't seen the draft actively in their lifetime. Shout out to my boomers out there. I hope you all die in a fire.
Whoa!
No offense, but all
There's
the
a
offense.
boomer.
Back up.
There's a boomer literally sitting right next to me, bro. Like, damn.
You want me to die in
I
a
mean-
fire?
Fuck, dude.
I said it. I meant it. Like, I don't
Wow.
give a damn. The boomers stole my future. The boomers stole the generation that I live in's future. So, fuck them. Like, as a collective group, no specific boomers, but, like, as a collective
what you're
group,
saying.
like, nah,
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not with that,
You're right.
bruh.
It's the whole.
I don't defend the grandpas, bruh. Like, I don't do it.
No, you're right about what you're saying. No question.
Hmm?
But our generation came right after World War II, And
Yep.
our parents wanted to spoil the hell out of us because it was so rough for them. We got
Yeah.
spoiled. So
Yep.
you have
Absolutely.
you have crappy adults.
I understand
it's
it.
literally
Then
the
you
great
have
cycle.
self-centered adults when they grow up.
It's literally the
It's a bunch of
cycle.
crap.
It downstreams.
It's literally the
Yeah,
cycle.
it's
Hard
a
times
downstream.
create strong men create good times create
Yep.
weak men create hard times. It's a great cycle.
The boomers were the
It's a
weak
Spider-Man
men that
meme.
created the hard times. They were actually
They're all
spawned
pointing at each
by
other.
But see,
hard men that created good times.
right now we're living in hard times. We are the strong men. We are the strong men.
Oh,
That's
we're in
Uh,
trouble then.
It might be. I
No.
hope we are. I'm not sure that that's true.
we're gonna be
I'm not
baptized
sure
in
that we're
fire.
the strong
Like the
men.
strong will survive and
We-
the weak will go. Like
Yeah.
I look around, and this isn't necessarily the scenario you were talking about. I look around and go, okay, World War II, I got it. They saved our country, or
Yeah.
saved freedoms, whatever you want to call it. I look around. What young men are stepping up today? Who's going to step up? I don't see it.
yeah, them with their cry corners, you know.
I'm
yeah.
old. I got an out.
Yeah.
Hold on. My homegirl, To Be Flair, actually is showed up way in chat. To Be
Oh.
Flair wants in.
Oh snap!
I don't know
Oh.
if To Be Flair wants in for the draft, but like I told you, I was talking to a friend, and
Okay, yeah, no, they want in the show. Yeah, no,
Come in.
yeah, bring them in, send them an invite into the Discord, then they can
let,
join
let
us.
me see. This show is ran off Discord, Flair, so I'm going to send you in. Hold on, let me see if I can actually generate one real quick for
While
this
you're doing all
server.
that,
I
I'm gonna read her
can't.
comments here. She's like,
Oh, invite people.
Yeah, read it.
Yeah.
There we go.
she's saying hi
To
to
Be
Darth
Flair.
here.
Done.
But when was the last time the draft was actually
oh.
implemented? So we answered that question. That was
76,
Vietnam.
yeah.
Must have
It
been
was
the 70s
76.
somewhere
Yeah.
when they discontinued it.
Not 54. 54 was Korea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
76 was
Vietnam.
the last time the draft was implemented for
Okay.
Vietnam. Haven't seen one since the 80s.
Well, the draft never stopped. It was always there. You always, from Korea.
No,
on,
not.
or
I'm
even
not
before,
saying we all
you had to
register for the draft as men.
Yeah, at 18 years old, you
Yeah.
had to register for the draft.
I'm
Now-
registered for the draft.
Yeah.
I never got drafted. I never seen anyone I know get drafted. Like
No.
military has been voluntary since the 70s.
Yeah.
Now I want to agree with Flair here for what she said. Why don't we provide United
She's
States
right.
citizens the opportunity to allot their tax monies as they see fit? Yes, we should have a
Amen.
say in what we're forced to freaking relieve. And the whole taxing,
Or pay
don't
for
even
it.
get me on the fact that the IRS knows what we owe, and then they leave it as a guessing game to us, and if we guess wrong, we
Yeah.
get in prison. That's horseshit. But like,
Yeah.
Keep in mind, we're not a democracy. We're a republic.
yes, but if it
So,
wasn't for
you
democracy,
vote,
there would
so
not be
you
republic.
vote for people to do those things for you. If you disagree, get them the hell
We're
out
in a
of it.
republic with a democratic process, which is
Yes.
problematic.
Well, the loot
in
is
and
right.
of
Like
itself.
the loot is 100% right. So, I'm sorry if I interrupted you. But like no, like the loot was.
I'm gonna get into a point on the Rumble only section
Yeah,
that I can't actually discuss at length on YouTube.
yeah.
I'm gonna ask a significant question when we dump off to other platforms.
Oh, pardon.
So don't let me forget when we make that
What are you doing?
transition.
Well, we're actually going to be making that
I do
transition
have
here
to-
pretty quick.
So anything else you
All
want
right.
to say on there? On the report?
Well, like we were just talking about like the draft and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So that's about it for this for the YouTube section.
Right.
Sneezing. But Darth, do you have anything else to add? About drafting women or any of that? But I'm not talking
I
about.
don't think it's a good idea because a fighting force is only as strong as its weakest link. The more women you add to a fighting force, the weaker it becomes. That's just common sense. That's just economics of battle.
But see, here's the thing.
I would not want to go to war alongside a woman who didn't actually show up and prove her worth to be there.
Now, here's the thing.
They're
Aside from
they're not strong.
here's the thing, though. Like, with
I do like the
draft-
idea of women serving in roles that are non-combat, like logistics and shit, like, yeah, you're capable of like doing the paperwork, getting shit out to where it needs to go.
Yeah,
But non-combat roles.
Well, that's
Non-combat
that's
roles.
what I was gonna say. Like not every draftee is gonna go into battle.
Yeah.
So like maybe maybe
Okay.
this is a draft not not
I'll
only
give
for
them the
battle,
non-combat roles.
but like because how many women stepped
yeah.
up to play during World War II, and
Wait.
not just in the U.S. but the Russians. The Russians had female pilots that did bombing
Wait.
runs. You know, like
Race where it seems like it's on combat.
We have
Well, I have a question.
we have some female pilots that are
Selective
actually
registration.
better than male pilots.
yeah.
For
But I
real.
mean like if a woman because there's some women out there that can go pound for pound for some of the strongest fighters out there. Like there's some really they're few and far between. Not as many
Yeah, but
women
it's
as there
not
are
the norm.
men. Yeah, it's not the norm. But if a woman demonstrates the ability to be utilized in a combat situation, then yes, allow them. Like I'm all for that. I'm not for like
Can
just
I-
throwing women onto the front lines for the sake of throwing women onto the front lines.
Can I-
But if they
Can
demonstrate
I
the
pause?
ability,
Can I
Become
pause the
father.
show for
Yeah.
a second
Yeah, go.
and interrupt?
yes,
My girl Flair actually joined the Discord,
Okay.
but probably doesn't have the permissions to make it into this voice
I
chat.
have verified her just now, so she now is verified.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So now that she's verified, she should be able to see this chat.
Yeah.
So, Flair, if you're still listening, come look down into the voice chats and find us.
I'd love to hear what she has to
Well,
say.
how about making the draft completely
too.
optional? Like, no, dude, like, you can't make a draft optional.
There's you can't make a draft optional. Selective service means you're selected.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you get to opt out, or nobody would do it.
Like, if you want to talk
It's
about
literally
optional,
antithetical.
you're talking about joining the military willingly, and a lot of people,
Yeah,
actively
voluntary
join,
service is. I actually would make a better case for compulsory service,
Yes.
which means everybody from the ages of 18 to 22 does 4 years serving the military, learning how to fight, learning how to protect what you have. Like,
Yeah.
I think everybody should do that. Not men, not women, all people
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
should learn to
Switzerland-
defend.
Switzerland has
Like,
compulsory
this is your
military
home.
service. Like,
Yeah, Switzerland actually inspires my compulsory service concept.
yeah.
China backstops it because China has compulsory service for men ages 18 to 24. But they spend 6 years serving the Chinese military before they're allowed to go do anything. I
Yeah.
mean, if you live in a country, you should be able to defend it. Otherwise, you don't do anything. You don't live anywhere.
She is still
Like,
prohibited.
you're subservient to someone else. If you can't fight them off, it's wild.
Well, if Flair still cannot join, Flair, can you join any voice chat? I can click and drag you into here.
Yeah.
So if you can join any voice chat,
If you see any of the speakers,
into my speakers.
I mean the speakers in the Discord for
Oh,
the
yeah.
So here's my question.
different voice chats.
In Desert Storm and everything during that era,
Yeah.
there were women in the services
Yes.
with boots on the ground. I have no idea how they performed. It never became a topic. But I know they were there. I don't know in what numbers, but I wonder how they performed. Did they hold
Well,
their own?
Well, maybe they were like more of like not really scouting or any like combat things. Hey, there we go. All right.
Hey.
But maybe
Hey,
they were
welcome.
more like guarding things farther
They
beyond
were
the front
part
lines.
of.
Or were they part of any
Hi.
offensive operations?
Hi.
Hey, Flair, how you doing?
Hi, not too shabby. How are you, gentlemen?
Doing all right.
Doing
Welcome,
good.
welcome.
Doing good, yeah.
Right on.
Well,
I have thoughts.
I hope we have a voice of reason.
I know you do,
We
and
need it.
God help us all.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Flair's
We're,
really good.
we're sitting here
people, and
talking
she's
about
actually
women, and a woman came and
very
joined
well
us.
thought
like,
out.
You can set us straight for sure.
Yeah, here we go.
But I mean, if you want to talk about drafting women, who better to ask than a woman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
So what are your
drafting
thoughts?
women doesn't really affect me that much.
Let me get my headset on. Sorry, guys.
All right.
Oh.
I'm gonna refrain from saying the joke that popped into my mind.
Don't make fun of us. No, it's totally worth
Fire
it.
away.
I was just gonna say, typical comes in here and says they want to talk about something, but they're not ready.
And then walks away immediately. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey,
She'll be back
I'm
and
not
she'll
being hateful,
actually
I'm
have us
literally
all the way.
I'm literally saying
hemmed
what
up.
happened, so you can't hate on me about
Well,
it.
Absolutely.
Let's
Like, no,
let's just say
you
this.
can't hate on him, but
As far as I'm
he's still gonna
concerned,
get us hemmed up.
as far as I'm concerned, if a woman can pass all the rigid tests, not a double standard.
No, I
a
want to hear
single
your
standard,
thoughts.
Then she should be able to go and be in combat.
I want to hear
Yeah,
your
She passed
thoughts.
everything.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Oh
If
my
it
God.
one standard, whoever can do it,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you're
true equality.
talking. Hold on.
go.
You're talking to the Gold Coast sitting next to you, right? That's voluntary military. We're talking about the draft.
Yeah.
Like,
Same
this
thing.
is not
Same thing. Like
voluntary. This
whether
is
you're-
compulsory.
whether you're joining of your own volition or of mandation, you should be able to perform whatever duty that is going to be bestowed upon you, be it in the field as a combat troop, offensive or defensive, or support, or front line, back line, wherever it is that they need help. It doesn't matter, what you got between your legs. If you can do
Let
the
me
job, you should
ask
be able to
you
do the
one
job.
question.
Well,
Xander,
Yes.
let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
What is the primary objective of any military?
Victory.
Be a little more specific, like what is the military for?
protection.
Well, defense and offense, like,
It's for fighting and killing people.
yes.
Yeah.
Like Jocko Willink actually put this really well. The purpose of the military is to put warheads on foreheads.
Yeah. And,
Like,
you don't think a woman
that-
can push a button any like different than a man? Like, can pull a trigger if they're trained?
No.
Like,
I
come on.
don't actually think they can.
I'm honestly
Women
shocked.
are far more compassionate and far less ruthless than men are. Like, that's why men go fight and die, and women stay home and raise babies. Just saying, like,
Of course. That
women
is-
are not willing to go cut throats when throats need to be cut. Because women...
yes, they
are far
are.
more
When anybody,
compassionate
if
by their
somebody
nature.
goes after their child, they will slat his throat, no problem.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, never
absolutely.
mess with a mama bear.
But
Yeah.
you gave a certain specific circumstance in which case women can be like men. And I agree that if you give that circumstance, they can do that. But in any other circumstance where nothing of theirs is threatened, they're not going to be as ruthless as to
That's
do
not
what
fair.
needs to be done
I-
as men
That's
are.
correct.
Like, that's not
as
going to
a
happen.
blanket rule. But then there's edges on both ways. There's a lot of women that can fight
Right.
a hell of a lot better than men.
Yeah.
That's not the norm, but it is out there.
No, it's
Now,
not.
here's what you have to.
I know it exists.
Here's what you have
But
to
it's not the
remember.
rule. And we're talking about drafting people at random, like,
Okay, let me
it's
tell you how
helpful.
the draft
It's
works.
not helpful.
From being an old time draftee, or at least had a lot of
okay.
friends that went through it. You get drafted, they don't throw a uniform on you and send you out to fight. You go into training,
No.
and number one, they're training you, but they're also evaluating you. Some are going to go into bookkeeping. They're not good fighters. These are all guys. Some are
Right.
going to go into the Marine types, the lead, right up in the trenches.
Logistics and all
Yes.
of that.
So they're doing a whole psychological test on you as you're being trained.
Yeah, we're not talking about just drafting
Mobile
just to be on
Army
the front lines.
Surgical
We're talking about
Hospitals
overall general draft of women.
in
Like,
Vietnam.
Why not? Like, I'm all for it.
Go ahead.
We're staffed a lot by women.
Go ahead, say that again.
I said mobile army surgical hospitals, MASH units,
Yeah.
were staffed almost primarily by women. Like, it was like 60-40 women,
Yeah.
like, serving in the hospitals,
Yeah.
tending to the wounded fighters in Vietnam. Like,
Absolutely. That would be Korea more than anything.
Yeah. Now, if I may be
And
rude,
Korea.
I would like Flair to speak her mind, especially after we gave her the floor and then took it away immediately. So,
was
my
gone.
bad, my bad, care.
yeah. Flair, it's all yours.
Now you're putting her on the spot. That's not fair.
Well, I hopefully we gave her enough time to collect her thoughts. So,
I stay away.
Okay, let me ask you this. Would
What's
you
up?
prefer women be drafted, or would you prefer not women, you? Would you prefer not to be drafted, or would you rather serve
I
your
think that
country
it shouldn't be. I think it shouldn't be. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just
I
lay it
keep
out there.
hearing feedback. I need to figure this shit out.
probably from me.
Short version. Nobody should be required. It should be an option. With that being said, because war should not be fucking. It shouldn't be the thing that's encouraged. People should learn to behave themselves.
Oh, you're not
That's
kidding.
the short version.
Yeah,
And then if we're gonna go there, then fine. Let whoever wants to do it, do it. I really don't care. Really, I'm team sentient life. I don't like that anybody is enforced to do anything that they don't want to do. That's the
I'm
short
with my
version.
friend Flair on this one.
Figure it
like,
out.
Compulsory
Put your fingers
service
in your booty
is
holes.
bullshit.
That's the short
And the
version.
people who implement
And no,
compulsory
women aren't better-
service don't
We're not
ever
better
have to go
fighters.
die
Hell
for
no,
it.
we're not. But we'll figure it
No.
out.
Yeah.
The women should not fight. Like,
Oh.
that's not anything that should be happening. Nobody should be forced to fight.
Well, that's for
Especially
sure.
women.
That's a kind of a kumbaya world. We
Yeah.
don't live in that world.
Yet. So, like,
I'm aware, but it's also kind of fucked up that people who don't actually have to go fight are the ones who get to tell other people
Well, you
they
got
have
that
to
right.
go fight.
well, yeah. What's
That's
what's,
bullshit.
Make
What's
the
the
politicians
quote?
afraid of the people
Wars are
again.
just young men.
Maybe the
dying for old men
politicians
or
go
something?
fight first. Like, George Washington led his troops into battle. When
Yeah.
was the last time a leader of American
not
government
a woman.
actually went
Being
into battle
retarded
with
or
his
not.
people?
Patton.
When was the last time that
1944.
happened?
Well,
Patton.
yeah.
Exactly. That was in the 1800s.
No, that was 1944.
Yep.
What are you
Oh
talking
yeah,
about? 1800s.
but that was
Patton-
still World War II. Like, he was not a politician; he was a general in the military.
True.
He was not a politician. When was the last time a political leader in the United States actually went into battle with his troops? Like, Patton was a general; he wasn't a
Well,
politician at
didn't,
all.
Didn't George W. Bush serve in World War II? John F. Kennedy served in World War II. I think Richard Nixon.
I mean.
Yeah,
No,
but not when
no.
they're in power.
George
not
W.
all.
Bush was in the Coast Guard. He was not. He did not fight in anything.
Oh, okay.
He was in the Coast Guard reserves. Fuck out of here with that. And he almost dodged that, but
Oh.
like,
So what you're
Any
saying
sort of
is
service,
when did an
active service.
active political figure? Because I don't think George Washington was an active political figure. during the
Abraham
Revolution.
Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was the last like political leader in the United States that led troops in anything, and he
When
He
did, wait,
ge-
wait,
he-
time
he
out. When
literally
was Abraham
only-
Lincoln in the field.
I don't
like
think
fought
that's
in one
what they
battle.
were.
What are you talking
with the
about? Lincoln
Union
did
Army.
not fight in the field. He was not a soldier.
No, he led some troops in one battle in one Union Army skirmish because they didn't have anybody else. That's how Lincoln got fucking called up in the first place.
Huh. All right. Did Abraham Lincoln lead troops?
Fight in the Civil War.
Leadership in war of
He led a
Abraham Lincoln.
platoon in one battle,
Well, this is going to talk.
if I recall correctly.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The four commanding generals of
Oh,
the
you're
Union
being
Army in the
idiots.
Civil War.
Ulysses S. Grant,
Henry Howard,
Robert E.
Winfield
Lee.
Scott, and George. Robert E. Lee was Confederate.
Yeah. No, he's
Yeah.
a general.
We're talking about Union here.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
Robert E. Lee was a general. He wasn't.
Who was
president
Abraham
at the time.
Lincoln?
no. Well, I'm trying to find what Darth is saying here about Lincoln leading
Abraham
troops.
Lincoln, he suffered from Great Depression.
Who hasn't?
He did fight.
I didn't know that.
I if you can find that and send that to me, that'd be amazing. Because I'm only getting things involving his Emancipation Proclamation and his presidency
Yeah,
during the
of
Civil
course
War.
you are.
I'm not finding anything.
You're getting what the
involving-
internet wants you to see, as we all know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't step on my
So-
snake.
Well, that's why I'm
Yeah.
saying if you can find me something, because maybe I'm not looking for the right thing the right way. I don't know. Like,
I will have to dig back into my archives to find,
Let me flip
because he
this-
only fought in one battle, and
Okay.
like 2 people died there, and they were both like Southern Confederates. But that was after he shit all over
Wait
the
a
like
minute.
United States Constitution completely. Like after he suspended habeas corpus, and after he suspended like a bunch of other constitutional rights for the Civil War, like I know he went into fight to one battle. I can't remember what battle it was. I will go ahead and look into that, but I'll do it later because I'm not gonna do it right now. Like
yeah.
there's no way in hell I'm gonna
Well,
like
it's an
dig it
interesting
up
thought.
in this moment.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I'm just reading this, and it's talking about like a sniper that almost knocked off Lincoln here,
Yeah.
because there was one battle we spoke about it actually like on a history show this past week. There was one battle that was 4 miles away from the White House, and Lincoln can actually like he was actually
Yeah.
watching it from his like
Abraham
living room
Lincoln was
window or
willing
whatever.
to continue
Like that's crazy. It's right there at
Slavery,
the Capitol.
if it-
like
if the Union was retained. But what do I know?
That's my point about the political elites of this country is they don't go fight with the people they send to war.
I'll take it.
They
a
do
step-
not
I'll
fight
take
with
it a
them
step
at all.
Further for you too. They know they're not going to go.
Yeah.
Not only do they not go, they know they're not going to go, and if they don't want their kids to go, they won't go. That's
Nope, and none of their friends' kids will go either.
that's what we're talking about. Now let me
Yeah.
flip the script
Yeah.
a little bit for you here. Imagine, go back to the Vietnam War.
Okay.
The youth is out protesting against this horrible war that we shouldn't be in. Massive, I mean, the hatred for the war was just massive. And then you get drafted, and they want to put a gun in your hand and go kill or be killed in a war that you're totally against.
no wonder
Yeah,
so many people.
in a war that you have
Yeah.
nothing to gain from.
Yeah.
War is
Yeah.
good business. Invest your
And
children.
you come home and
You're
everybody
gonna kill
hates you.
someone that doesn't you have no beef with, or you're gonna be killed. You know, jeez. So
Yeah,
that was
that's
some crazy
absolutely
times. I gotta
fucked.
tell you.
Yeah.
I don't
My
think they're
brother
going to be able to reinstitute the draft at all. Because,
Maybe not.
number one, our younger generation is as soft as it's
No,
ever
go fuck
been.
yourself.
And they have no
Do what
interest
Rick
in
James
fighting
did.
anybody
Go
for
AWOL.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, true
You know,
that.
Like, good luck leading that group and making them fighters. They're not,
Yeah.
they don't back you, bro. Like, they don't support you at all.
Be
They're gonna
righteous.
sabotage
Say no.
you first chance you get.
Yep.
I don't get
Like,
why
nah,
this is a conversation.
Yeah, no,
Just
Flair's
say
100%
fucking no.
right. You know, we'll just, people will, for the most part, will just go AWOL. They don't care. You know,
They're
what do you-
not going to because nobody will fucking play. I don't get. This isn't a conversation. Everybody will tell each other go fuck themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm with Flair on this one. Like,
Yeah.
go fuck
I agree
yourself.
with her. No.
I'm
I
not
said that
fighting for
earlier.
you. You hate
Who's gonna
me.
go to war around there? Look around.
Yeah.
They're not going to
For
war.
real, dude.
Yeah.
You hate
Too
me.
soft.
The
too
issue
long.
is the
Right.
tax
You
money.
hate me. Why
At
would
this
I?
point, it's not about.
Why would I fight
It's
for
not
you
about
if you hate
drafting
me?
at this point. It's about the
You're
money.
right. You hate me. Yeah. With that.
Yeah.
I literally have no interest in
Come for
defending
me.
America anymore because America doesn't defend me. Dead ass.
Yeah.
No, not unless you live in a foreign country. You have to be giving money to.
Right. I'm not a Jew,
It's not
so
a
America
conversation
don't
piece.
love me.
The question is your money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, I think we should maneuver on over
Yeah.
the Rumble section here.
And that's where you should
Yeah,
be
let's
having
go
a
ahead
problem.
let's go ahead and make that hat swap, so I can just go ahead and let.
Not about
Yeah.
who can fight
Yeah.
better. We know dudes can fight better. That's not the issue.
Whoa.
What's the issue?
What's the issue? Flair? Can you hear us, Flair?
Yeah.
Flair, I think her headphone is out.
She
Lost
might
there. No.
be having leg issues as well.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, yeah. So let's finish the broadcasting here on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, we are
Thanks
going
for
to
having
continue
me,
the
guys.
show onto Rumble. We're not ending the show.
Thank you.
We're ending the YouTube section. We're continuing on the Rumble. So if anybody wants to
The
watch
dollar bill, yo.
rest of the show,
The dollar.
please go to the
I'm
on
going
the
anywhere.
description
Money.
below to our link tree, and you will find the link to our
Money.
YouTube to our Rumble down there.
It is.
Hey,
So-
I gotta
I
say,
died.
thanks, guys. I've had fun.
We're
but
not shining off.
I know the Luna's out.
Oh,
I
yeah?
am.
Yeah.
Bye,
All
Lou.
right.
Alone?
So we are
Thanks, guys.
off of